Margaret, you were there from the very beginning, literally the conception of the idea. And you know how costly this building has been, not just financially, but in other ways too. But I know, having talked to you about this, that that's not your abiding song. You don't look at the Easter Centre and think, how difficult it's been. You look and you see how God has been at work through it all. What for you is an iconic moment when you knew that surely God is in this place?
I suppose the first thing I'd want to say, Esther, before I go there, is that yes, this has been a journey of God doing stuff.
Yeah.
And I suppose as we thought about the new church centre that we didn't have, it was very much about what God was going to do once we'd got the centre.
Yeah.
But actually we soon came to realise that it wasn't primarily about that.
Yeah.
It was primarily about what God was going to do with us on that journey to the centre.
Yeah.
So that's been very rich and varied. And so, yes, one or two, well, there's many highlights I could share with you, but I just thought to pick one or two, I guess.
Yeah.
So the first thing I would want to say is the aspect of prayer that has been so vitally important in bringing this into being. But the effect that had on us as a church.
Yeah.
And
it's
on
one of the
individuals.
things that drew me to applying for the job, to be honest. I saw how soaked in prayer things had been. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. And that was for the congregation, PCC, life groups, church breakfasts, actually getting out there and praying around the old centre, and then as the new one went up in the pouring rain like it is today. And lots of excitement as we did that, and real encouragement, especially the prayer breakfasts. Even if there weren't that many of us, there was always something very rich about those. A lot of times when God actually spoke to us in words, pictures and so on. But I think I can't remember coming away and being discouraged.
Ever.
It was always encouraged.
You're going to pick an iconic moment if you
Sorry.
can. No, it's good.
So I think, there are many. The one I think I want to start with is a picture that we were given very early on. And as we gathered to pray, one of our main concerns obviously was about the amount of money, because it was absolutely huge. And the picture was given of a net, one of these nets where you put balloons in for a party, and it was hung between the different sides of the church from the balcony. And that net was full of balloons, but the balloons actually were money. I don't know whether there were pound signs on the balloons, I can't remember now. But the whole thrust of this picture was that the money was there. It was held in the net, and as we saw it held in God's hands, He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. He could go like that, and we'd have the money. But that wasn't the point.
No. As someone that's hearing it, not having been there, what came to my mind is the net is held in this church family, this church building, this church community. A real strong sense of that. And the years have proven that to be true, haven't they?
They have. And I think a lot of those balloons have been released from the net, but we still owe money, and we are still believing that money is held, as it were, in God's hands, but within the church as well. So we look forward to seeing that released. But I think the encouragement of that was that we could continually look back throughout the journey, and it was a long journey and a difficult journey, financially hugely demanding. But to have that sense that God is in his hands was absolutely vital for us, I think, because the challenge was so enormous.
Thank you. I have walked into this inheritance, the incredible resource that this building is, with its history, that hasn't been without pain, the debt that we've talked about, but especially I feel I've joined in the song that surely God is in this place. I was interviewed upstairs to become vicar here, and I remember committing willingly and gladly to embracing this legacy in its fullness, including what was the £2.1 million debt at the time. That went down to 1.7 million by the start of this year. And if we take away the pledges that have been made, it's now down to 1.1 million. So a real sense of some of those balloons being released. Can I just pause to celebrate God's goodness and provision in that, and the generosity of our church family, who have taken hold of the dream for us to be debt-free, and I guess to be part of God releasing his provision. Yeah. So thank you, St. John's, to everyone who has contributed to this. And as I finish, looking to the camera now, can I call on you as people who belong to this church family at such a time as this? Can I call on you to take hold of this dream that we will be debt-free, and consider supporting it in one of three ways? Can you join those who have already pledged their support in eliminating our debt? The finance team worked out that what we need is £100,000 per year, which is £10 per week for 200 supporters. When you break it down like that, it feels manageable, doesn't it? So that's the first way. Would you make a one-time gift as a response to our gift day this year, maybe? Another way is that our debt is increased when we have to pay interest to the bank. Would you be in a position to make an interest-free loan to us so that we can remove the interest burden? Would you join us in singing that surely God is in this place, and I want to be a part of what he's doing? Thank you.